Hi, everybody.
No, I wasn't ready.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Daily Deco. It's December, so we're in the end game of 2020. Is it not?
That's
tomorrow.
No, this video comes out. This video comes out on the Monday, which is the 30th. Because if it was December, all my Christmas decks would be up behind me. But they're not.
Oh, yeah. No, it's not. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. I'm thinking of when all my food deliveries are due to arrive.
Food. It's all right. To be fair, though, like I said, we've been doing is ramping up the Christmas, haven't we? So it's all. It's all on our mind, getting all the Christmas stuff sorted.
Sean and myself have very much been in sort of Christmas mode, sort of getting ourselves ready. So yeah, we've been in Christmas for weeks now.
We have.
That's the downside of working in the marketing department. You're always like a few months ahead of everybody else. So yeah, next week we'll be looking at, I don't know, Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we've been working on Christmas 2021. So with that ahead.
Yeah.
We know what's happening, guys. Brace yourself.
Yeah.
It gets worse.
I wish we knew what was going to happen like a month ahead of time.
That'd be nice.
Anyway,
that'd be nice.
Today's episode of Daily Deco is sponsored by our very own Teespring store, as usual. But we'll mention the discount code later on because it might have changed. But if we jump straight into the sort of underwater news, so the first thing is. If you've been following the show for any length of time, or more accurately, if you used to watch Daily Scuba News, I don't know, about a year ago, maybe.
Yeah, I think so.
So there was we did a news story on a new planned sort of underwater museum called MUA. I forget what MUA stands, the Museum of Underwater Art. And they were planning and I thought they actually put it in, but this news story came up, so I don't know whether, I don't know. It was an underwater art installation around the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, and it had this huge sort of open. What do you call it? Like a greenhouse type of thing with sort of statues of local indigenous sort of people and children sort of around, and it was going to be this sort of fairly shallow-ish underwater art installation. Again, it promotes sort of coral growth and all that kind of stuff. It's shelter, but actually it sparks concerns from sort of locals, and they don't feel it represents them. They think that it's going to do more damage than it does good, and all this kind of stuff. And it's one of these kind of, it's you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, because the whole point of it being there is it's being in an area where, okay, granted there is a lot of like marine life in that area, but not in that specific area. So it's quite a sandy bottom. There's nothing sort of there in the substrate. It's away from the main sort of rock where sort of most coral tends to grow. So it's not as if they're going to be just decimating sort of everything. And oh no, it has been installed on John Brewer Reef. So
it's there.
It's kind of there, but of course people like to complain about things, and they're complaining because a lot of the things that they're sort of also planning is because the artist likes to use actual models in his kind of statues. They think it's a little bit weird because after that person has kind of died, then there's still this like artistic representation of their likeness sort of lingering around, and they think that's going to be sort of creepy and weird, and sort of cultural appropriation, all that kind of stuff. And I don't know, I don't really get on board with too much of that kind of stuff. I think it's kind of, that's not what it's meant for. It's meant as a celebration of these people and their lives, and it's there to
having that sort of thought though. Every single painting, the Mona Lisa.
Yeah,
it's so stupid. You know, an artist coming from, again, I'm not but coming from like a video pointer section, or just media, should we say? If you have your picture taken, you are there to do a job, like with models and stuff. they're gonna die. We're all gonna die one day. Your picture, these videos, they're all going to stay up. What, do we have to delete them because now you're dead?
Yeah.
I'm dead?
And
it's so stupid.
I do understand because some cultures, they don't like their pictures being taken for sort of cultural reasons and all that kind of stuff. But it's not as if he's forcing people to sort of cast themselves. These are all sort of volunteers and all that. So, I don't really get it. I think just people like to complain.
Like, with these models, all the artist has to do, or probably has done, is that here's a waiver. Your likeness is going to be shown on here. Yeah. One, are you okay with that? Is that, basically, if it turns out that, he was forcing them into the mould or whatever, then there's going to be some issues. But other than that, they probably got paid some money or they volunteered their time for the day. And they're like, do you know what? My likeness is going to be underwater. And to be fair, give it 50, 60, maybe 100 years, your likeness isn't going to be under the water because there's going to be stuff growing off it.
Yeah, you're going to look like you come out of Pirates of the Caribbean with all the coral sticking out. So, but I don't know. What's the old adage? Is like there's no bad publicity. It just kind of, I forgot about that because people can't go out. So, maybe this will be beneficial to the reef to get people to go see it.
I can understand if people getting upset about the installation process because that always takes time, having barges, disrupting the town itself, and obviously the waters in the area. But once it's settled, once it's there, that's a distant memory. That goes, you know what I mean? Everything kind of goes back up. But to start attacking the art because of the likeness of people and what happens when they die. Yeah, it doesn't twig, mate. No. I don't think that's like a weak. That's like you say. It's just someone wants to complain.
Yeah, and they don't understand that. Oh, well, we can disagree on things from time to time, and that's okay.
It's not. How dare you?
you don't like this. Okay, I think otherwise, but.
Let's move on from it.
Such is life. The next news story is another world record, which is quite cool. Pardon me. Less to do with scuba diving, but still underwatery stuff. So this is 71-year-old Jim Wigginton has become the oldest person to reach the Challenger Deep. So so he's dived down into the deepest part of the Pacific Ocean's Mariana Trench, and this was with what's his name, Victor Vescovo. Yeah, Victor Vescovo, who did the I can't remember how many, but like 6 or 7 sort of peak challenges, and so Vescovo was piloting the submarine, and it took Jim down, and they delved down to just shy of 11 kilometers under the surface, plus or minus 3 meters because it depends where the submarine sensor was. Pardon me. And he's now officially the oldest person to reach the Challenger Deep at 71 years and 124 days.
Nice. So congratulations.
This is quite cool. Apparently, just last year, he achieved the world's highest tandem parachute skydive jump as well. So he's gone from 11 kilometers up, and now he's gone 11 kilometers down. Yeah.
He's a dude.
Well done, Jim. Hats off to him. This is the kind of news story that we need right now. And
he's going to, hopefully his next task is to break through the false bottom to release the Meg. That's right, guys. The Meg is back.
I'm just looking at this guy, and it's quite lucky that he's quite short, because I know that those submarines are pretty darn small on the inside. I was reading one thing about James Cameron when he went down, and it was like. You never heard of him before. He was so it was a one-man capsule, and it was to the point where he had to take his shoes off to be able to get himself in, and then he had to rest his foot against the sort of the glass sort of porthole, and he said, my foot got really, really cold because didn't have too much exposure protection on, and down there it's just below freezing. But yeah, there's so little space he couldn't sort of cram himself into the capsule. But luckily Jim is he looks like he's a fairly short guy. Either that or the tender is a giant.
Yeah, he's giant. Jim's actually 6'2". That's amazing,
but yeah,
though.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I don't know, maybe this will start a new trend of sort of world record attempts. You're going to get like Sir Tom sort of in a submarine trying to dive down as deep as possible to become the oldest man. Who knows?
Wow.
Who knows?
No, I think the greatest one is to give birth under there. So you put someone who's late in labour, you take them down there, and then you technically, your son or daughter, your baby that's born, could be like called like Aquaman or something.
Yeah, I don't
they
know
are
what
of the sea.
I don't know what the regulation is as far as passports, because isn't it if you're born over international waters, you get a unique passport, or you're eligible to get a special passport?
Well, I would. If I was eligible to get a special passport, I would get that passport. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic. The baby gets a fish with a stamp.
I don't know where his national embassy would be, but yeah.
And the trench. He's king of.
Just a trident on the front.
Yeah, that's it. Now that will be a Guinness World. Did you hear it first, guy? This time next year, someone would have given birth in one of these little subs.
Good heavens! Can you imagine?
Hey, it's a world record. It's going to happen.
Well, they are becoming more and more popular.
Exactly.
As we said the other day.
They're Christmas presents. Hopefully, I can't wait to unwrap my submarine under my tree this year.
I wonder what this is. It's like this 30-foot submarine shape. Oh, just what I always wanted. A $2 million submersible.
Thanks, Santa.
Anyway, today's episode of Daily Deco is sponsored by our own Teespring store. So if you didn't know, we make our own merchandise, or to be more accurate, Teesprings makes our merchandise for us, only they don't actually make it until you place an order, so it's a bit more eco-friendly. It means that they're not just printing t-shirts and then just having lots of leftovers. They only make specifically what you want. So how it works is basically you go to our Teespring store, which we linked down below, and you find a design that you like. You find a t-shirt or a hoodie or a pair of socks or a phone case or a mug or whatever you want that design on. You then pick your size, you pick your color, and then you place your order. And once you reach the checkout stage, what we want you to do right now is use the promo code Daily Deco, that's all one word, in as a discount code, and we're giving you 15% off of your order. And then they will start sort of making your t-shirt or hoodie or whatever it is, and then once it's all done, they will mail it directly to you. So yeah, don't forget to use the discount code Daily Deco to get 15% off of your order.
And share on social.
Yeah, and also we're trying to do a big push on sort of social. So later on today, I'm going to sort of take some photos of myself. No
one wants to see that.
All casually. As if I'm just like, just woken up in my Cave Shark t-shirt.
It's really bad that you sent me a picture of how's my diving? It was on your chest and you were wearing nothing else. I did not appreciate that.
I know, I've got a bald patch now where I had to rip it off. It's taking all the hairs. I've got one of those stickers upstairs. I don't know where to put it because it's...
Oh, I've just told you.
But now it's all hairy. Anyway, on that note, the CDWS has released a complete list of COVID-safe dive operators in the Red Sea. So if you're planning a trip out to the Red Sea, it's definitely worth checking. And they've basically gone to all of the different dive operators, and they've gone to make sure that everyone's got sort of COVID safe procedures now. Everything's being washed, people are wearing masks, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there'll be a link down in the sort of comments below to that, and yeah, it basically breaks down all of the different diving facilities, where they are, and their sort of date of certification, so that when you're planning your sort of dive trip out to the Red Sea, you can double check that the dive center is kosher, it's been looked at, it's been tested, and it's all sort of above ground and whatnot, and this is in coordination with the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities and the Chamber of Diving and Water Sports. We are announcing the resumption of diving and water sports activities for the members who hold a valid license and safety certificate that follows the COVID-19 precautions and preventative measures approved by the Council of Ministers. Pardon me. So yeah, it's basically they've gone to all the different sort of dive operators, and they've just sort of gone, oh yes, you're doing all the kind of stuff, and you get a special certificate, and that way, if you're planning a trip and you don't really know the dive center, at least you know that they are doing things correctly, because there are quite a few dive operators out in the Red Sea. Yeah, and it is just a comprehensive list, and you can just sort of scroll down.
That's really good.
There's a surprising...
Well, they need this for the season, don't they? So
yeah, there's a surprising number of crazy dive centres. You've got Crazy Dolphin for water sports, Crazy Shark Dive Centre, and Crazy Waves Star.
Crazy Waves!
Yeah,
oh yeah!
It is quite interesting to see what people name themselves. But yeah,
cool,
if you're planning a trip out, definitely worth checking that out. Again, the link will be down in the comments below, or in the description below. And the final news story, to end on a low note, unfortunately. So this is an inquest into the death of a trainee diver. I don't believe it's come to a full conclusion, but they've had a hearing and basically sort of documented the events and kind of how things sort of happened, and. So this follows the story of Dr. Olivia Byram, who was 29 years old. She'd only just qualified as a doctor, and she went on a sort of a diving trip, as it were, with her friend. Her friend was already qualified. And Olivia basically wanted to sort of learn how to dive, and she was going through her PADI open water. She did her sort of first few open water dives, and then it's not entirely clear from the article that I read, but somewhere in the middle she had a day off because she was feeling the effects of heat stroke, I believe, or heat exhaustion, and so she skipped that day, but then resumed her course for her final dive the following day because she felt that she was feeling fine. And then the basic plan of the dive was to dive down to 18 meters. I presume they did skills somewhere, and then as they were coming back up, they did a safety stop on a line attached to a buoy, and so they did a 5 meter safety stop, but then it seems that they did a 1.5 meter stop for some reason. The friend turned to Olivia, and basically she kind of signaled just to make sure that she was okay. But when she didn't give the okay back, and then that's where things got kind of weird, because she turned away, and then the friend surfaced with the instructor. But then when they couldn't see her sort of with them, they looked down in the water and she was horizontal and descending. And this is where it gets kind of weird, because the instructor sort of went with the friend to the shore to get her phone to phone her superiors, instead of diving straight back down to even attempt to sort of get her student. So yeah, it gets a little bit weird. Eventually, so they went back down. Her body was found down at sort of 28 meters, and yeah, it's all kind of weird. I know in the moments, a lot of logic kind of goes straight out the window, and it's very easy to sort of look back with hindsight and say, well, of course she should have done this. But it is a little unusual for an instructor to just leave someone, especially a student, in the water alone, underwater, to sort of go back, get a mobile phone with someone else there that you could have sent to sort of call for help. A coroner has basically done a post-mortem and decided that the cause of death was drowning. Couldn't find any fault with any of her equipment, so that's all a little bit weird. And they basically decided that the Olivia's diving inexperience and inadequate safety processes contributed to her death. So it's a terrible story, and the best thing that we can do right now is obviously think for the family. I think there is a GoFundMe sort of page for her, sort of in memory of her, which you can contribute to if you so wish. But also we can use this as a bit of a sort of a learning experience if you're training to be an instructor or a professional diver. That sort of contacting emergency services is a high priority, but if there's someone else that can do that, you just need to delegate, and you should never leave a student alone in the water. It's hard. It's very easy to from our position to say, oh well, obviously she should have done this, but sort of in that moment, it is quite hard to sort of decide what the instructor was doing was sort of right or wrong. But who knows what the thought process was there? We're not that person, so and we're only reading from a news article, so there could have been more contributing factors. But it's just one of those things, and it's never a nice situation.
No. And it's horrible, yeah.
Hopefully,
it's something we can learn from.
Yes, that's it. Bizarre.
That's what you can do.
Yeah, I remember reporting on this story when it sort of first broke, and there was a lot of confusion and a lot of kind of, oh well, why was the instructor on the surface and didn't go back down? And I think there are still those kind of questions around of, why was the instructor on the surface, and why did she sort of go get her phone before even attempting to sort of help her? A lot of question marks still around this, and I don't think everything is sort of finalised yet.
No.
But
I'm sure we'll find out more about it.
That's
in all honesty, like you say, it's not finished yet, is it? So.
No.
We'll, if there is any updates, obviously we'll keep everyone else in touch.
Yes, we have to sort of touch on these news stories sort of from time to time. I never like sort of breaking these kind of news stories because it's not really what people want to listen to on their sort of normal morning commute. But it kind of is important for us to sort of know and be aware, and so that now if you're a buddy and you're coming up, you're doing a safety stop, you signal to your friend and they don't really kind of pay attention. Actually, it's worth spending an extra moment just to kind of swim around to the other side and just make sure they're okay. And don't ascend without your buddy. Make sure that they're always in your eyesight, because stuff like this can happen. It's always worth maintaining that sort of contact to make sure that the moment something goes wrong, you're aware of it.
Definitely.
But on that somber note, unfortunately.
Yeah, we should have kind of put that story at the beginning.
Or at least like somewhere in the end.
In the middle.
Yeah. So that we have somewhere else to move up to.
Yes.
But hey ho.
Well, you have the end of the show. It's finished.
Yeah. If you have any questions, comments, queries, that's going to be how we have to end the show.
We don't know.
If you have any sort of questions, comments, queries, anything that you want us to talk about, then let us know down in the comments below. Any questions will all get sort of corralled into one thing. The Q&A that will be on Friday. We're still doing the Friday,
Still
so
Friday.
Be on Friday. any news stories that you've sort of heard of, or any updates to any of these news stories, then let us know. Send us a link down in the comments below. As ever, thank you for watching, everybody, and safe diving.
Do you want to let people know about tomorrow's episode, Tuesdays?
Yeah, sure. I don't know what it is, but yeah.
Basically, normally this time of year, we would have a fun video where we follow Mark around our shop, and show off gear that you think, you know, some scuba divers might like for Christmas, like a Christmas gift guide. That's generally what we have a tendency of doing in shooting. Obviously, we don't have a shop, we don't have stock, we don't have any of that. So what we're going to do, the 1st of December, Daily Deco isn't going to be a news show. It's going to be like a Christmas gift guide for scuba divers in your life.
Okay.
So it's going to be the same. It's going to be shot like this, but yeah, we're going to talk about gifts that, you know, your scuba divers in your life might like.
Yeah.
So rather than news articles, it'll be like masks and all that sort of thing.
By the way, all this stuff is mine, so you can't have it. We'll talk about some sort of gift ideas, because when most people come to the website or something, or trying to look for a gift for a scuba diver, I don't know, do they need a new torch? You don't really know, but actually there are some quite interesting things that you can sort of get a scuba diver that you might not immediately think of. We'll pop them all in tomorrow's show.
And we've also got a bit more freedom, I guess, because with these types of products or these types of videos, it's normally obviously dedicated to our sites. And obviously you could buy masks, torches, you can buy them anywhere, like, you know, any reputable scuba diving store. But we've got a bit more freedom where we can maybe say, check this out, because we don't stock it, but it's not on our website anyway. There's barely anything on our website, so we can potentially redirect you to somewhere else.
Yeah.
For this year anyway. Next year, no. You shop at simplyscuba.com or I'll break your eggs.
Yeah, or else.
Yeah, or else.
Merry Christmas.
I thought, So in the next episode, there's no news. It's not going to be news. It's just we're going to have a talk about favourite. I say we. Mark's going to talk about his favourite products and ideas. Basically, it's going to be 5 T-shirts from Teesprings, which you can get at 50% off using the discount code Daily Deco.
That'll be an
Merry
easy
Christmas.
show. Yeah, that'll be an easy show. I'll have to have a think. Look at my sort of Christmas wish list and what I want.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. Nice and easy. Anyway, we'll leave it there now. Sorry guys.
Yep. Thank you for watching, everybody, and safe diving.
Yeah, man. Stay classy, scuba divers.